Welcome back. WildStar Week 3 update. One thing I want to say before we begin, this is an example of what they try to do to give some diversity with the quests. Follow the path. One thing I have not seen is an escort quest, which is wonderful. Okay, let's get into this update. What do we want to tackle first? I'm asked what I meant about the game being grindy. So, at the top right, you will see a quest progression. I just finished killing some of these mobs to fulfill another quest that I had to use an item on these mobs. This is what I was left with when I finished that quest. Now, hopefully within a couple of kills, and you can see here, I'm getting ready to level. Hopefully I'll level after killing this mob. What I find in the game is that the amount of work that you put in completing some quests, doing dungeons, adventures, etc. is not
Now that was some intergalactic awesome sauce.
necessarily worth the reward that you receive in the end. I have been having issues getting gear as I level, and it sucks. Still working on this quest, so hopefully after killing these two, I will fulfill the second part of this. So anyway, that's the issue with questing, and when you have a challenging game, it's great to complete it, but it's also good to be able to progress your gear and whatnot. And here's an example. I finished the quest, and I have reward of gear that I cannot use. So that's what I mean about it being grind, and it is grindy. On top of that, you have a lot of grind. There are tons of quests, and there doesn't seem to be enough balance between the amount of experience you receive and the amount of quests, because by the time I leave an area, I don't want to go back. In the last video, I talked about housing, and somebody asked me, a couple of people asked me, whether it's the farming is like half hill in World of Warcraft. No, it is not. Mobs do not spawn here. Quests are not given here. You do this. You farm real quick, get your stuff, and then on the way out, you can get your bonus by clicking on the board, and that's it. There's nothing else. So it's not as involved as the half hill farming thing. So I just wanted to get that clear. So what else? When you copy a game, and this is very WoW themed, and that makes sense because some of the developers that used to work for Blizzard work for Carbine. Make sure you copy all of the good stuff and leave the bad stuff behind. An example of this is faction trading. When World of Warcraft put that in that game after people begged for it for years, that should have set a standard. Because now coming into this game, people are complaining that they cannot transfer between factions because of a lore thing. Look, if people aren't having fun, and particularly in this game with it being so grindy, I hope that's something they reconsidered. So don't assume you can do it. Okay, awesome. She's back. And I'm trying to do your advice and not look at her boobies. I'm trying. Okay, so what else is going on? There are a lot of bugs in this game. Now, to give them credit, they have fixed the spam issue. At first, when they released it, you could not report spam. Then they made it so that the spam button was there, but it would crash your game or it would not send in the request. Then they fixed it so that if a spammer gave you a attachment and you took it, you couldn't report the spam. Now it is fixed.
My beautiful little siege females horribly twisted into these monstrous abominations. I have studied the nature of the change, and I know that Max was responsible. The insolence. If he thinks I will stand for this, he is sorely mistaken.
Alrighty then. I have not received any spam since that last fix. After they fixed the report. Now, why they put that in so that if somebody sends you an attachment, you can't report it for spam, that makes no sense. But, yeah, they have fixed it. So they are trying to fix issues. But that doesn't mean that the game is playable to a point where you're not annoyed by the bugs. Many people are experiencing different things based on the class that they play. The recent patches, the past couple of days, the servers have been coming down every day for a short period of time to do hot fixes and whatnot, which is good. It's cool. You can't really complain about them fixing the issue, except for the fact that the game was released too early, which is sort of like a thing with MMOs. And no, a game is never perfect. There's an MMO. There's always something to do, but there should be some sort of cutoff on what's an acceptable problem and what is not an acceptable problem. For example, there are data cubes that say there is no data for this cube, and it's been like that for months. That should not be. Is it class breaking? No. Does it show incompleteness? Yes. What else? The economy is borked because there are bots in the game, unfortunately. At this point, let me be very clear about this. The bot issue needs to be resolved. The spam issue needs to be resolved at launch. Don't even launch unless you've got a handle on that, in my opinion, because that is what will drive people away quicker than anything else, especially in a game as hard as WildStar is. So unfortunately, the economy is really jacked. Now, this is going to, the economy is going to differ on different realms, but for the most part, because of bots, it's unfortunate that that's happening. Now, what you're seeing here is another bug. I am a scientist, and I'm supposed to go around scanning things, and the little icons are supposed to tell me what I'm supposed to scan. These I have already done, but the icon still shows. As you can see, the add-on that I have even thinks that I'm supposed to be scanning those things. So that makes progression in the path challenging, and well, not challenging, annoying. It's not hard, it's annoying. So it's those kind of bugs that can stop progression. For some classes, the quests are broken and you can't finish it and you can't, progress to go like to the next area. So these are things to keep in mind. If you're not in the game already, I would suggest waiting a little bit, because if you don't, like for example, they introduce some performance issues. I know it's hard to believe, but they fixed it, and playing it was, so much improved. And then they put in a hot fix, like they did it on a Wednesday, and then by Friday they put in a hot fix that ended up killing that performance increase. So until things like that are resolved, I'm not saying that the game is a bad game. It's not a bad game, but unless you are willing to open yourself up to potentially be frustrated, then just wait a little bit for them to fix it. Think of Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is a lot better today than it was at launch. WildStar will be a lot better in 2 months than it is right now. So I'm not saying WildStar is a bad game. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is don't be so eager to hop into a game and give your money and then get pissed off because you're not getting what you think you should. You want more information on the type of issues, just go to the forums, go to Reddit, go to Twitter, do a search, see people are talking about these issues because they're annoying. Fact is, WildStar has 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, this is the time when people will be done with their 30 days. Actually, it's not even 2 weeks. We're going into, one more week. I do these at the end of, the week to try to get, updates that they do and whatnot. So we're getting ready to go into the 4th week, but when July 3rd hits, that's a month. And people will have to make the decision on whether to subscribe or not. A lot of people are not going to subscribe. A lot of people are having fun because they don't feel that these issues are bad enough not to play. You're not going to know until you already spend the money unless you wait and have them resolve it. So that's what my point is. So that's my recommendation for now. I have not gotten into dungeons because of gear. I am under geared, and I'm not going to go into a challenging dungeon under geared and bring everybody down. I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to try and PvP under geared either. So I'm going to wait for those. I want to try to get to 50 before July 3rd. We'll see. But the more that I play, the more annoyed I get with the zones, because I think that the amount you're in a zone too long. You're in an area, yeah, it's just too long, particularly for the reward that you get in the zone. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. It lets me know if you like the video or not. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, there's a link below for Amazon. Viewers asked me about this because they use ad block, but they want to give back to the channel. So by shopping and buying anything at Amazon, I am not told who gets what or anything like that. I receive a referral for sending people there. The more people do that, I'm going to put it back into the channel, do some giveaways, get more games, and have more fun with you guys. So until the next time, I'll probably do a couple of more videos in week 4, because I'm going into week 4, because it's getting close to the 30 days. So that's the intention, and I will see you guys